Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended. And with the new creature pathing update and the actual inclusion of new structures inside of Ark, basically the total trapping process has been completely reworked. And I'm going to show you how to trap literally any creature, including flyers, with any number of pillars. Basically, you're just going to use a few pillars and they can get trapped. It's the only way to successfully get rid of the pathing update creature wise, by the way, because pillars for some reason don't seem to activate their smarter creature pathing. So I'm going to show you how to do that in this video. We're going to go we're going to start off with nice and easy one like a Thylacoleo, then we'll move into a Rex. And then we'll move into some flyers and I'll show you how to do it and basically just how to adjust the trap. Now, if you don't mind, smack that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. I'm getting close to 100K and that's been my dream all along. So you can see that this guy is stuck behind us inside of the trap, right? And it's a pretty simple concept. The trap is meant to hit the midsection of a creature, and that midsection of the creature will keep them locked in place. Now, you just need to know a small difference, and basically you just need either a large bear trap for an aggressive dino that'll chase you in there, or for a non-aggressive dino, we're going to use honey in order to activate our little smart trap, right? So we're going to go ahead and pull in honey, and then you can literally throw the honey on the ground and it'll basically pull every single dino from a certain region. Every dino likes honey, so they try and go get the honey. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you from square one how to do this, but let's go ahead and get started. So basically, you need to create the trap. You can see that I've trapped him with this one. I would recommend the first few times that you actually use a trap like this, that you make it a little wider because you want to practice a little bit more in order to learn how to get these things. For a Rex, a good width, by the way, is 5 wide and then 3 deep. Now, I know that sounds weird, right? Because you're like, what are you talking about, Teach? So basically, you can switch the path and how a pillar now works to go vertical or horizontal. Now, with how creature pathing works, what you want to do is set down a total of, if you want 1 trap, you're fine. 2 traps, you're just fine as well. And they're going to basically see you in the middle of this trap, and they're still going to try and get you. Now, when they get close, you're going to slowly back out the back side of this trap, and then they're going to get stuck on those bear traps. Once they get stuck, you're going to place this final line down right over here in order to lock the Rex in place. Now, you can do this with a much smaller trap, by the way, but I'm just showing you an example real quick for the Rex. Let's go ahead and do this right here. So you can see he's pissed off. He's like, okay, you know, here we go. I'm angry. Let's come take care of this. He is going to come towards us. We're going to go stand on our trap right here. And when we run out this backside here, notice how he gets stuck on it. And then we're literally just going to go ahead and move this into place. I don't know why I just missed all those, but you get the point, right? So now you can't get out of that because that is, so Rexes aren't able to get out of a 1x1. So you can think of it that way. He is stuck inside of our trap now. There is nothing that he can do. He's just going to continue to try and bite us. You can make it look pretty if it makes you feel better, right? But it doesn't matter. So the Rex is now stuck inside because he's going to try and get to you and fall on top of your individual thing right here. So you can just safely knock this Rex out on the inside of a trap like this, and then you can make it, and the best part of this kind of trap is you're not stuck to a particular size. You build the trap like you need it to be built. So if you're on a hillside, you can compensate for the depth and stuff like that. And if you're not on a hillside and you're on a flat area, you can make it nice and simple. Now, again, this is a bigger trap, right? We probably won't need that much for something that's much smaller, which is very true. If you're taming something like a Thylacoleo, right? It's much, much easier. What we're going to do is we're going to drop this guy into the ground just a touch because we want to be able to have the Thyla have its, you can see that this is probably too high for a Thyla and this is too low. So I just wanted to show you that. So we're going to go ahead and change the height of one of these pillars. So we're going to pretend like we're getting a Thyla in this trap, and we'll go right here, raise it just a touch. And then now we should be just fine, right? So in the Thyla, all you're going to need is a 3 wide zone. And just like this, if you want to feel better about yourself, you can place one of those things down. We're gonna go, you know, I'm just going to put this in my hotbar so you guys can see what I'm talking about for this right here. And we're just going to place a single bear trap down for something like a Thyla, right? So the same exact concept. Instead of building the bigger trap for something like a Rex, the Thyla is going to easily fit into this. We're just going to aggro it so it gets caught on this thing right here. This would work for a Carno-sized dino as well. And you can kind of see the point behind this because they essentially can't see this because they're like the pillars. And that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull a Thylacoleo in here. You can see he's angry at us, so he's going to sprint and chase us. We're going to basically stand right over the top of the trap, trapping him in place. And we'll switch so he can actually access. Why is it not letting me go to the... There we go. I was like, what? What's going on here, huh? So now that we have him stuck in place, you can see that he can't go anywhere. He is going to continue to run circles, and there's not much that he can do. In that time that you have with those traps, if you're not comfortable the first few times, place down a few traps, and those few traps will actually give you the ability to have a little extra time. As they turn, they'll get caught in those bear traps. So there's a Thyla, right? So there's 1, 2. This is very simple. He's going to try and crawl out, but he literally can't. So next up, we're going to go with something that's a passive tame, something that's considered a little bit more difficult to tame. We're going to drop this one down. And we're going to go after a Stego. Now, Stegos are very easy, actually. Same exact concept as a Thyla. You only need 3 wide in order to tame it. We're going to go ahead and go 2 this way. And the secret for the for this next one is we're going to go bring in a Stego, right? Where's this Stego? There we go. Now, you can aggro it, but you don't have to. You can toss down some honey. Now, every creature in the entire game is attracted to honey, and they are going to go and try and eat said honey. Now, what I like to do is I'll toss down 1 piece on the front side to bring him into the cage, and then I'll toss down a second piece to get him further into that cage itself. Now, notice how he's kindly walking into this trap for us, so we literally don't have to do any extra work, and that's it. He is now stuck inside of this. Now, the Stego can't even move. He's like, I don't know what to do with my life. I have been trapped inside of a cage. Now we have 3 creatures trapped inside of a cage, right? And you can see that we're making a different height based on the creature we're trying to tame. Now, again, the benefit is as soon as I'm done using this trap, I just walk over and pick it all up. Because of how things work in Ark now, I can pick up all structures. That's it. So now I did promise you that I would teach you how to use it with birds. Give me just a second here, and I'll show you how to do that. We're going to do 1 more. We're going to pretend we're taming a Triceratops, right? Triceratops can be a little bit... of a pain in the butt because they're like a medium-sized height. So I gotta usually try to find a more flat zone for them. So, but they are also very easy. We'll raise this just a touch. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll try and do it this way. Okay. Yeah, it should be fine. They'll probably be all right. We just need to aim up the hill a little bit more. All right, so again, we are going to trap a Triceratops inside of this one. Same exact concept, though. You can go even smaller with them. For some reason, the Triceratops work even better for a trap like this because they get aggroed into it and they're like, oh, let me eat your food. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste a code that I've stored for about 6,000 years on the, there we go, Triceratops, and boom. There we go. So the Triceratops, right, it's going to see that honey and it's trying to get to the honey. Now, if you want to, you can pull this guy down and he's immediately going to be like, oh, yummy, I'm going to eat that. Now, once he gets inside of this, again, it's all, there's 1 and he's going for the second one. So 1 and he ate that one, 2. And now we have ourselves a trapped Triceratops. Now, if you want to and feel more comfortable, let's say you've got like a bigger side that he might be able to get out on over here. You just put down a couple of these, and this is how you make the trap perfect, right? So now we've got a trapped Stego, we've got a trapped Trike, we've got a trapped Thyla, we've got a trapped Rex. It's all the exact same strategy. Now, I did promise you that I would show you how to do a Argentavis, and I will. So we're gonna, this is also the same exact process. It's just built slightly different for something like an Argentavis. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this just a touch taller, and we're gonna make it 2 wide, right? Now, you can make this however you want, but this is how I build this one, and it's very easy. All right, 1, 2, come on, thank you. And the benefit about this one is you can basically pre-build this entire trap for an Argentavis, and you'll be shocked how easy this one is. You're just going to rotate, and then because an Argentavis cannot fit through a 1x1, you literally just have to build the sides of this cage ahead of time. So everything's pre-built for a Argentavis. You do not need any gates. There's nothing difficult about this, and it's insanely easy. And all we have to do is spawn in our Argentavis now. All right, so here's the Argentavis. Now it's going to get pissed off. It's going to see us, right? We're just going to run into the back of this cage. It's going to get stuck in there because it doesn't have a very good creature pathing. And then we've placed, while we're sitting on that back side of this thing, we're just going to drop in our individual pillar. And it's stuck. It's that easy. Well, I did mess that one up a little bit because I gave him too much room over here. So what I would have to do in the future is I just put 2 more right there. It's very simple to bring him back into the cage. So I made the mistake of not putting a pillar in there. Come here, buddy. Yep, now we're back. So now you can see that we can see it on that backside. And now he's actually stuck in there. And if you really want to, because you don't want him to get out again, you just put that down and see that, boom, I now have a bird cage. Now, again, there's an Argentavis. How would I do it with a passive? You can do this with a Quetzal too. I'm not going to show you a Quetzal because we'd have to go find a Quetzal and that's going to be a pain in the butt. But you can do it with a Pteranodon. And the benefit of a Pteranodon is a Pteranodon can also get stuck in a cage of this size. Now, Pteranodons are even easier in my opinion because you could just bola them. But let's say for some reason you want to go ahead and trap a Pteranodon. I will show you how. You're just going to use honey. There we go. There we go. There we go. Boom. All right, so now that we've got this, we're going to go ahead and put a piece of honey down, and that way we can actually aggro our Pteranodon inside of this cage. And then we're going to go ahead and place that down there and that there. Now we've just got to get the code for a Pteranodon. Man, I just misspelled my sheet over here. Pteranodon. And then we'll go ahead and paste it. Notice how he's like, oh, there's honey over there. Let me go ahead and grab some honey. That totally must be safe. And as soon as it's inside your cage, it's going to try and get that second piece of honey. Please go a little further back in there, buddy. You're not going to? Thank you. I was like, what is going on? And as soon as it's in there, right? Okay. I forgot to put down the walls fast enough, but you get the point, right? I don't need to show everything because a Pteranodon can fit out of a 2x1, but not a 1x1. You would have to then put walls up. But realistically speaking, if someone's like, I'm trying to trap a Pteranodon, I'm a little bit questioning of your style of play in Ark because you can just bola it, shoot it twice in the head, and it'll get knocked out. So anyways, you can use this trap for literally anything. You're going to use honey for anything that's considered a non-aggressive tame that will not chase you, and you just pull him in there. And then anything that's an aggressive tame, you're just going to use bear trap or something like an Argentavis. You're going to use a, yeah, you see it right there, right? It's that easy. It's really not a difficult trap to understand, and you can build it however you want. And again, that benefit, right? I'll show you the biggest benefit of this entire thing is you can just pick this thing up immediately on any official server because you just pick up these, and even if it's the pillars are falling and you're not picking up the ones that are connected, it'll pick up all connected pillars for you. See, just 23 picked up. So yeah, easiest thing in the entire world. You can make it however you want. There's no special requirements. You don't have to build it in a special way. You just use pillars. So hopefully this video helps you out. If you don't mind, smack that like button, leave a comment below for the algorithm, and other than that, teach. Ow.